Good morning. This video is brought to you by Trapline Transport. Before we get into the ad read though, we are here in Midway and the sun's starting to set. Hopefully I didn't wait too long. It is beautiful, sun on the mountains, but the bottom of the valley is in shade. But this is what our load looks like here. We've got a oversized, over height and over width load. Just barely over width. So I'm gonna have to throw some lights on there once it gets dark out, or just before it gets dark out. In the back. Yeah, both the front and the back kind of look wonky. Wonky, different size wood beams. The Blue Lamb wood beams for the Kelowna Airport. Man, what a beautiful day. Oh, there's bighorn sheep up there. There's no way in the world you guys are going to be able to see that, but there's some bighorn sheep up on the side of the mountain there. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 obvious ones. It might be more, but cool. Haven't seen those forever. Cool. Anyway, let's get back to the ad read. Like I said, this video is brought to you by Trapline Transport, servicing Super B flat deck freight from BC to Quebec, Canada, with regional and long haul freight. With Trapline's experienced team, you can expect fast, efficient, and honest service. Our team will transport your valuable products across Western Canada with the skill and experience you can expect and count on. We want you to be satisfied with our work, which is why we provide open communication channels where we will update you through each process, from arranging shipment to delivery at your door. Just head over to traplinetransport.ca and get a free quote right now. Okay, let's lose our jacket here. Just gets tossed in the back. Seatbelt, don't want to forget that. Steering wheel adjusted. Brakes released. All clear. Okay. Let's hammer down.
Turn right on Lakeport Street, then take the first left.
Thanks, Carmen. Okay, here we want to head left, like she just said. Gotta do a little wide, little corner here so that way you come in square. And you can see if there's any traffic coming on the right-hand side. We're clear. Let's hammer down.
Continue on Highway 3.
Yeah, so this load came from Castlegar, that new Klesnikoff building right by the airport. I brought you guys in there on the bonus video a week ago. Kind of neat, kind of a neat building. Get that mirror adjusted just right. Okay, must have bumped it or something. So we're headed up to Kelowna. Yeah, by the end of the video, I'm gonna have to pull over and get the load lights on the trailers. Probably not necessary. I'm barely over width, but legally they need to be there, and I have them. So let's put them there. And then hopefully this week we're gonna have a better week than we did last week, because Friday kinda sucked. Having said that, I am behind schedule. I had Monday off. well, behind schedule on videos anyway. I had Monday off because I had to go in for a physical to keep my CDL. Every so many years we have to go in and get a physical. Basically, we have to be able to prove that we can move our neck far enough to do shoulder checks, look around, where our arms can move into a certain amount of flexibility in your arms. Your eyesight is at a certain level. And your blood pressure is good. No other medical issues that might cause you to faint or black out or any of that. No dizzy spells. Listen to your lungs breathing in and out. Basically a very basic physical. Are you capable of safely operating a Super B semi-truck? Or a school bus, or a taxi, or whatever, right? I'm not sure how often like a taxi driver would have to go in for a physical, but I'm sure there's so many years you have to do it on any CDL. I think, I don't know. There's no, for the top tier, we definitely have to do it every couple of years. I don't really pay attention to it. When I get a letter in the mail, I've got 40 days to go get a physical. Simple, easy. And then if you're a truck driver that crosses the border, you also have to do a random drug test every now and then. Just like, oh, I have been chosen for a random drug test. It usually happened every 2 years or so, give or take. Sometimes it was 3 or 4 years, but you know, the one time it was a couple of months apart. We're following the Kettle Valley River, or Kettle River, I think, just Kettle River. Kettle Valley Railroad used to run along here. It ran all the way along here, up to Beaverdell, and then kind of started gaining altitude. Kind of gets close to Kelowna, but doesn't actually go into Kelowna. It's way, way, way up in the mountain near Kelowna. And then it backtracks down into Penticton. And then from Penticton it wraps around. Well, you can go south. Well, back in the day when the railroad still existed, you could have gone south from Penticton all the way to the US border, across the border. Or you could have wrapped around the lake, go up to Summerland, and then work your way through the mountains to Princeton, and then from Princeton up to Tulameen, to the Coquihalla, and all the way down into Hope, the lower mainland. Or you could take a ferry ride from Penticton up to Summerland or up to Kelowna. So they would actually ferry train cars from Penticton all the way up to Kelowna, and then there's another railroad that you could go up north to Vernon, and then Trans-Canada Highway, and then connected those railroads together. But you did have to get a boat ride, or barge ride, along the Okanagan Lake to make that happen. Of course, the railroad I didn't know about would have gone from Rock Creek up over the Anarchist into the US and then to a Soyuz. So there is a shortcut there. But required a couple of border crossings. But back in the day, the border wasn't as solid as it is now. The lines were a little softer. I wasn't paying attention. It's like I'm gonna have to wait for the. My plan was to start recording in Rock Creek, going north, and then the sun would be behind us. And then I realized after fueling up here at Midway, I'm like, oh, the sun's setting on me. If I want to shoot a video, I need to shoot it now. Tomorrow, we're gonna burn back two Castlegar, actually two Thrums. No, not Thrums. We're gonna go to South Slocan and pick up a load there that's headed to the Sunshine Coast again. So tomorrow, hopefully I find a spot. Maybe it'll be Highway 33 southbound, where we won't be driving directly into the sun. It's gonna be difficult. I'm gonna have to drive into the sun, I think. That's okay. We're driving into the sun now, and like you guys have commented, and like I've said, these cameras are pretty darn good driving into the sun. And I got the rear-facing camera for some cool shots behind me. Yeah, maybe we'll just do a video tomorrow morning leaving the Kelowna Airport. I've been there. I think this will be my 5th load, and I've only shown it to you guys once. I don't want to do that too often, but because honestly the run gets boring pretty quick. Like I said, this is my 5th delivery there, and I have not taken you with 5 times. You guys would hate Kelowna Airport by now if I had taken you with all 5 times. And only the first time I had to pay. All the rest of the times, I got new directions. Basically, the boss is like, what is going on here? They're charging the bill to... So basically, I paid, and then I charged the boss for the bill, and the boss charged the chipper for the bill. And when they start getting bills, they start making phone calls, and now we're allowed to leave without paying. We just have to hit the call button. Don't even have to wait for the call button to answer. We just have to jump out of the truck, hit the call button, jump back in the truck, wait for the gate to open, and we're good to go. Which is a lot less chaos than having to bill. I have to bill the boss. I have to pay. I have to bill the boss. The boss has to bill the chipper. Chipper probably builds the manufacturer.
In 2 kilometers, keep right to Highway 33.
Let's do that. Let's keep right to Highway 33. Looks like the Kettle River is pretty much frozen over altogether. Where it looks dark and shiny, that's frozen as well. I think water has busted through, flooded over top of the snow, and then froze again. Even there, it looks wet, but it's definitely ice. Oh, there's open water there, I think. There's a little bit of open water right there. Yep, you see the ripples. When you see the ripples, you know it's open water. So.
right to Highway 33. Continue on the current road.
I'm told this little pub here has some really good food. And there's enough space right here for a Super Bee to pull over on the shoulder and walk back there, so good to know. Sometime I'll have to go do that. We got some cars behind us. I think I'm going to pull over here. It's only 2 cars, but I'm going to let them by. Two cars that don't have to aggressively pass us later on. Can't stop in that pull out, but over here you could pull over and stop. Need a place to sleep right along the river. I've done that before. Quite a bouncy road. Gets a lot worse after Westbridge, especially southbound. We're headed northbound, so it's not too bad. This whole highway is uphill because you're following the river, right? Climbing the whole way. Now the tops of the mountains are going to slowly get less and less and less sunlight as we keep going. This is where a huge forest fire raged through a couple of years ago. And I am seeing some small little trees starting to grow. Like 2 feet tall. I am starting to see some sign of a forest coming back. guys see that little road following the river on the right hand side there? That is the old railroad bed. I don't know if that comes across on video or not, but you see this little narrow roadway that kind of follows the river. I imagine it would have been a beautiful train ride through here. Especially when you guys get, like, the train track would have gone up by Myra Canyon, Myra Valley or something like that. There's lots of trestle bridges up there. And then you've got at least 2 tunnels. So a bunch of trestle bridges and some tunnels before getting into Penticton. Would have had some beautiful viewpoints. I'm sure everybody on the train wanted the right side windows if they were headed the same direction as we are, to get the beautiful viewpoints. Well, there's a lot more than 2 tunnels. Myra Canyon there has a bunch of tunnels too, so there's a bunch of tunnels. Jess and I have biked those trestles and tunnels before. It's been a long time. Coming up on Westbridge here. If you guys are ever northbound on this part of the highway, really watch for oncoming traffic on that bridge. Because any semi coming down or southbound is going to use both lanes on that bridge. Right, 50. For some reason I was thinking 70. Here's the bridge. Remember I said I was over height? I'm not 6 meters tall. I am 4.34. 5 meters. That's at 5, not 6. I am 4.34 meters. That there was Westbridge. It's only minus 5 degrees Celsius. It's one of the warmest days we've had in the last 2 weeks. gonna get cool again over here. It's the first time I was able to strap down the load and tarp the load without wearing a toque. Downright starting to feel like spring. I suspect the cold weather is probably over now. We're probably going to get a day or two where we still have cold weather, but the 2 weeks of really colder weather, like cold for us, I think is close to being done. Next week is supposed to be warm. There's going to be a lot of melting happening next week. And as far as snowstorms, I'll probably still expect another 1 or 2 of those. Quite rough road here. A lot of these roads don't even think about doing the speed limit because it's so rough. Kind of expecting that pickup to pass us. I haven't seen as many crashes on this highway this year. Maybe people have actually learned that they can't drive so fast on this highway. It's a boring highway. There's really, what, 130, 150 kilometers of nothing. I'm sure the towns of Beaverdale and the town of Westbridge and Carmi disagree that they're not nothing, but there's like no cell service, there's no radio signal. I certainly try to avoid ending my day anywhere on Highway 33 here due to the fact that I get no cell service. Can't talk to Jess in the evenings. Every now and then I do get stuck over here. Then I try to stop in Beaverdale or Westbridge where there is some cell service. Little pockets of service here and there. So yeah, tomorrow's goal is just to get to South Slocan early enough to load, and then a couple hours back over the mountains eastbound or westbound, because it's going to take a couple hours to get unloaded tomorrow morning. I'm going to show up at 6 a.m. again, maybe 6:15. Show up early, get untarped, and that way they're ready to unload the second they're ready to start unloading. hopefully they get unloaded within 2 hours. If they get unloaded within 2 hours, we can make it back to get loaded tomorrow afternoon. And then on Thursday, we would spend the day driving to the coast, take the ferry, and get to the town to Seashell. Spend the night there, deliver first thing Friday morning. And then hopefully they get me unloaded within 2 hours so that I can make the ferry back to the lower mainland on Friday. Early enough to get reloaded and head home. We'll see how that goes. If I can't get back in time to get reloaded, I'm sure I'm just going to drive home empty. And that's not great for the company. Can't make a lot of money when I'm running empty. Slow traffic delaying, 5 vehicles must use pullout. I wish every highway in BC and Alberta, well, every BC and Canada and the US had those signs. If there's not regular passing lanes, build these pullouts and put up signs like that. I would like to make that 5 vehicle like 2 vehicles. If you're delaying 2 vehicles, it's time to pull over and let people by. If you're delaying 1 vehicle, not a big deal. That vehicle can find a spot to pass. The problem is when that vehicle decides they can't pass, they don't have the skill level to pass, the second vehicle now has to pass the Super B plus that 1 vehicle. And then you got 2 vehicles, and then 3, and then it just keeps building up. For us, there's nobody behind us right now. Or am I slowing down then? Well, there's corners. There's corners here. Fairly tight corners. Definitely a rough road. Such a rough road that the old microphones would have just been completely useless. Very, very rough road. I guess the sun is completely set now. Technically the sun doesn't set for another half hour. I think a little more than half an hour. just because it's behind the mountains, it might be another 45 minutes before the sun sets. Officially, legally. But I think we're gonna call it a day here, and then I'll look for the next good pull out, and I'll dig out the oversized lights for the trailers and put the lights up. And catch up with you guys tomorrow, probably on this exact same highway going southbound. I don't know, I'm still debating leaving the Kelowna airport or maybe starting to record after we've left Kelowna. There's a big pullout at the bottom of the hill before, or right after Kelowna, there's a big pullout. Before we start climbing the big hill, I can start recording there. And see more of the wild beauty of British Columbia. Might be the way to go. You know, some people really want to see Kelowna, but I know most people really don't want to see Kelowna because Kelowna definitely gives you PTSD for traffic jams. The red lights, so many red lights. Beaverdell is still quite far away. I was debating, it's like, do we keep recording until Beaverdell? But that's still pretty far away. We'll call it a day here. Let's run on the yellow line, why not? So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. Have another fun day. Nice boring day. No sketchy loads. Just keep it nice and simple. For now, thank you guys so much for all your support. Appreciate all the people that have hit that join button. And remember, you guys can come and go as you please. I am working on a new sticker, so everybody that's waiting for a new sticker as a member, it's going to be pretty much the same sticker I have, but I also want something else, something a little fun. I want 2 stickers I'm working on. I just don't know what the second sticker is. So I got one of the stickers figured out. It's basically the same truck with just the font a little different on the bottom, with basically the font I use in the videos now. We'll use that font for the channel name, my name. And then I want some kind of other fun little sticker I'm working on. So once those are ready, I'll order those, and then anybody on the member list, I'll send you stickers. So for now, oh yeah, I know I suck at saying goodbye. I am out of here. Appreciate all your support. You guys absolutely rock.